Mistress? What? Whatever are you doing in the Warren Chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me! What is the meaning of this?
Seneschal Abelard Viserion has lost some of his former polish, his forehead is sweating, and one of his sleeves of his coat is torn and soaked through with blood. Nonetheless, despite his heavy breathing, he stands firm and his gaze is demanding, albeit somewhat surprised. He surveys the carnage around him, his brow furrows, and he places a hand on his weapon. Conrad Voitvir is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of the plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny.
Probably.
And, Mistress, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Auntie! I will forever refer to her as Auntie. He clutches his forehead, looks lost for the briefest moment, but then quickly finds his resolve again. Voitvir openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind the mutiny. Unquestionably, why don't we leave such matters to etiquette for another? So it would seem... What, yeah, another time?
Absolutely. With the Lord Captain's permission, I shall give you an hour-long lecture on how making use of proper addresses corresponds to showing due faith in the God Emperor's anointed. For now, however, we have more pressing matters on our hands.
I've never been yelled at by Abelard like this. This is the greatest day of my life.
You're in a bad way.
I know.
I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense.
Thank you. My God, I get my weapon back. Wait, did we finally do it? Are we finally back?
I don't have time for this.
Do you not? Oh, I'm gonna give it to Abelard, right? Girl, baby's first weapon. Okay, now this. Question. Yeah, so hold on. This. So this is, if I do... No, but I put on thing. So if I do show helmet... Oh. You don't need that, girl. This. No. So why... What did I... Like, I'm kind of curious what I picked. To have it show this instead of this. But I could just be... Like, that could just be what the base one does. I'm gonna just do that. Show base outfit headwear, yeah. But I would just prefer this outfit at all times. If I could go through the entirety of this game with this outfit. I love the sniper. We have a sniper again. We're so good. We're so close. Look it! Okay, Abelard.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treaty.
Thank you.
That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt.
Oh, yes.
But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
How did you find me?
You sent me a Vox message.
No, I didn't.
Specifically, a Voxcast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
No. Is this who I think it is helping us? Our favorite little ship entity running around? Is that who does that? I think the Warrant Sentinel must have sent the message. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warrant Sentinel?
Yeah.
The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort.
Okay, but I have the Warrant Sentinel.
The Warrant Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes, and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
That's the real question. Like, given what we know about Auntie and what she was dabbling in, let's call it that. She was just dabbling in a few things that maybe were a mite bit heretical. I wonder if the ship, I don't want to say it had like turned its back on her, but it didn't necessarily recognize her like it used to. Like, I'm super curious about that. Like, why didn't it? I heard one of Theodora's Vox casts. What exactly has gone wrong in translation?
I am no helmsman, or God Emperor preserve me navigator. However, I have spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Gellerfield has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak.
Yeah, that might be closer to what you think.
If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the war.
Yeah.
Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
No. We fight till the end, Abelard. That is what we have always done. I heard one of Theodora's Vox casts.
Lady Theodora's.
Auntie.
Which one? The last one I received was about the navigator's sanctum, and that was a good while ago.
How long ago?
In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
Yeah, we definitely should do that. Very well. Will you lead the way?
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
Thanks, Abelard. Oh man, I do love the questions that, oh wait.
To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward.
You ever wonder sometimes if the ship was simulating Theodora?
The Emperor is with us.
Or like whoever is in charge right now was actually like simulating her to kind of keep morale going. Oh, it's a thought I've had a few times.
Out of my way!
All right, heretics.
Just a minor setback.
God, I've missed you, Abelard. Question. If I do that, I can't hit. Okay, that's the only way I can hit 2 for 1.
Suits my purposes.
Let's do that.
Absolutely not.
Tessera.
Nothing I can't do.
Tessera. Girl, we're back to sniping. We're so back.
All too easy. Nothing of value has been lost.
Girl, first day back. First shot, 2 for 1. I'm so proud of you.
My ears are ringing.
You'll be fine. Abelard. Okay.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Okay.
I will do my duty.
Now this. No? Did we only get 1? You were supposed to get both. Also. Let's go this.
At your beck and call.
Can you not? Is it? Because he didn't smack back. Oh God.
Enjoy your luck while you still draw breath.
Tess, it'll be okay, honey. Can you still snipe right now? No, I need you over here.
Curse you, miscreant.
You'll be fine, honey. Don't worry. There.
Suits my purposes.
Yes, Tess. Take that.
Not a problem for me.
Okay. Abelard. This one.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
I know you have.
Reduced to dust.
I took you to Komoreg. This is
It will be done.
quite literally nothing. Good parry. Good. All right, last one.
Already done. Opposing
Done.
me. was your biggest mistake.
The sheer confidence on Tessera von Valencius is something that should be studied. I would like 40. Yeah, we'll go with tech use this time. Cool. Abelard, your turn. We need athletics, carouse. I would like your carouse, please. That always sounds weird. All right. Shall we? Oh my god, we get loot. So, I know we're going to always add to cargo zone, and this one I'm also, these are so early days weapons, and you're gonna get so many that for somebody like new who's never played before, this would be one of my like weird ass tips, would be to start sending early game stuff, like super low level stuff. Always have it just go straight to your cargo instead of cluttering up your inventory. It's something that I wish I had done the first time, because like this, I got 6 swords, but I'm gonna always add to cargo zone and then add to cargo, and then I think this should always, yeah, I think that should be right now, just so then that way you don't have to worry about them cluttering up your inventory in the future, because it gets to be a lot fast, trust me. Anybody else feel like we're getting way more cutscenes than we used to? Like, I feel like we've upped our cutscene count. I don't remember this.
I hear it here on the threshold of the blinded guide. Doom comes from the heavens.
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. Their voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abela, how they sing.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valencius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate, to die in the waves of the immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn, and in the roaring blaze I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
Interesting. Under the burning rays of the final dawn. Like, it's interesting that you... Final dawn, right here. Like, you're starting to get the punchline. Final dawn. The entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. Because this is this, right? Like, she's literally talking about it. Ah, so cool. A diviner?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud.
Honestly, I understand that on such a deep personal level.
And you are von Valencius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet.
It's so good to see you again. I've missed you.
Officer's frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrad's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the enginarium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Enginseer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
How do you know who I am?
What? You think Lady Theodora didn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? I have seen you. I have seen the footsteps of your past and the wounds of your heart.
I love her voice acting. I think I said it before the first time around, but Idira's voice acting is just absolutely incredible. This year's words bring back a wave of memories of the bitter, humiliating moments of your greatest shame. Something sour rushes to your tongue, and your head is clouded with sickening sense of your own worthlessness. We should see if the navigator's well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity.
Yeah, calamity.
But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we?
No.
The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
Okay, if you didn't watch either the stream I did with this or like the beta or full release with this scene, what we're about to do, like the conversation with who's in here, is probably one of my favorites to date, even after all this time. I actually think there's a voice acting now, which would be really interesting to hear for them. But yeah, this intro scene is so good, like to him or to the navigator. Hi.
Run, fools, or fall!
I will take you down.
This Tess here. Idira, you can only come to here. Okay. All right, Tess, let's do this.
Nothing I can't do.
Let's do that.
All too easy.
Take out this guy first.
You didn't stand a
Wait,
chance.
did you just murder him? Okay, cool. No. All right, listen.
Cover me.
How much warp? There's already a lot of warp in here. There is already a lot
On
of
it.
warp.
Farewell.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Death to the weak.
No! God, don't touch her. She's
That
too...
was insulting.
It was insulting,
A tactically
Tessera.
sound approach. At your
Do
beck
this.
and call.
Now,
Victory is imminent.
How
One
can I
fewer
trust
target.
someone like you?
Tess, that was my fault. I shouldn't have done that hit. Okay, this.
Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
The creature in the chair appears as if it's become one with its throne. You see pink, parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the two dark gill-like slits on its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut, the two ordinary eyes as well as the third one that sits in the center of its forehead.
I believe Master Vespider still lives. Well, the servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
Idira,
Wounded. Exhausted. fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one.
Your time is short.
The navigator stirs, barely able to lift his head and half open his normal eyes. A dark drop rolls from under the closed lid of the third eye and down his face, leaving behind a black trail. The voice is coming from the Vox grill at the base of the bizarre chair. It's unclear how the navigator is able to produce human speech. You are in need of help. We have to get you out of the chair.
Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
Suddenly, the navigator's body starts thrashing in place. It lurches forward, then falls back onto the seat, and then thrusts forward again as its bones crack and its skin tears open. However, the fusion between the body and the chair appears to be stronger than these wild impetuses. The mutant remains seated, but leans as far forward as he can, his layered raiment slowly turning crimson. The gill slits burst open, forming two hideous, screaming mouth-like pits.
Ah! It came from beyond! His body is not his!
Idira's scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the navigator succumbing to the paroxysm of corruption.
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me.
I always think the line "under the burden of hopes." I think that that's a theme that you see throughout this game, which I've always found to be fascinating, is talking about how sometimes hopes can be a burden and that you put all of your stock into them. So you are burdening yourself with these hopes that maybe aren't actually going to benefit you, maybe aren't actually good for you. I mean, in this case, the hope of living is definitely good for us, don't get me wrong, but this is something that, like, you'll kind of start to almost see as, like, a theme in one way or another kind of coming through in this game, and it starts here. In a burden of hopes, like, you want to live. That's a good hope to burden yourself with kind of thing. Like, don't unhope that one, or unburden that one. But then you'll start to see as we go through some other things that change and kind of make you question certain things and all that. And I like how they're using this as a great way to start setting you up for the next, I don't know how long, is it 100 hours? However many gazillion hours? The navigator continues to convulse violently in his seat, shrieking and cackling, but then his fits stop abruptly. His face is drenched in black and crimson. The dark ooze from under his third eyelid has turned from a trickle into a stream, mixed with the blood coming out from his nose. There's a purplish swelling around his eye.
Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
Who torments you?
The Edge. Kneel before the ascent of a new champion. When the rite is complete, this shell will burst, and thousands of Moors will accept the sacrifice offered to the Edge of Daybreak by the Bringer of Twilight, the one marked by the will of the gods.
Each word ringing through your head is like the tolling of a bell, as if countless voices have joined in, screaming into your ears. For a moment, you lose your bearings. This unholy chorus must be trying to confound you with sounds not meant for this world. What is that supposed to mean?
A rite. A sacrifice offered. Oh. My heart tells me that Kunrad was not deterred by his defeat in the warrant chamber.
What? Kunrad betrayed Lady Theodora? But how is that? How? He was as loyal as a dog. And I didn't hear a thing, I swear.
The footfalls of the Bringer of Twilight are veiled by the will of his masters. Tear out your eyes. See who is to become the champion's servant, for you need them no longer.
I want to help you. Tell me how. So, Address Abelard is still alive, barely, so what do we do now? I feel like if you were anybody but Noble Tess, it would work. But Noble Tess is confident in that she has decisions to make. And she, like, I feel like this is a good way to kind of set yourself up for what kind of rogue trader you're going to be. Are you going to turn to other people for help? Are you going to just start making decisions on your own, like, very quickly and, like, fall into this role? And Noble Tess is going to do exactly that.
Run. The sanctum will be sealed. I will hold it off. Hold on. And wait for the signal from the master helmsman. Then I will commence the translation. So, run. Run.
I wish that that was the end of it. Like, so as I was just mentioning, like, Tess wouldn't ask this, like, in my head. So I do wish that tell me how, and then you can be like, all right, we're doing it, let's go. But I guess we're still deferring to Abelard.
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier.
The spiders. Good luck. And thank you.
She reaches out her hand towards the navigator, but pulls it back at the last moment. The navigator does not give her a response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under the closed eyelids, and the vox at the base of the chair is bellowing out static, interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. I feel like this one very small paragraph tells you what he's going through right now. He is being tortured in unimaginable ways, and this is how he will die. He will do his job, he will get us out of the war, and he's not gonna survive because he can't. He is being tortured to a point that I don't know if any of us could, in theory, comprehend. And it's just it's so good. The imagery there, like, you understand, and you've got the otherworldly laughter. So you know exactly what's torturing him every single second that you wait. Yes. 10 out of 10. What happens if the navigator appears dead, only the slight movement of his chest and the twitching of his eyelids let you know he's still clinging to life. So yeah. So that's what's happening in the navigator sanctum right now. Is this... I think it, so the axe, I'm gonna always add to cargo. Scrappy auto shotgun. Add to cargo. Wait, this one I'm always add to cargo. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then this, I feel like this is like the base one. So.
It's about time.
Done. That way we don't have to worry about those. And if you see, I'm not going to use that. And if I want to use it, I'll just go in my cargo and grab it. But I'm not gonna want to use something that low level. That's not what we're here for today. We're only here for good quality stuff. Nothing but the best for Tessera von Valencius, if you know what I mean. My goal is to not have our inventory be as much of a train wreck as it used to be. Also, you see how fast that's quick saving?
Victory awaits!
That's what happens when you don't have a 2-year-old save file full of different patches and stuff. So snappy. Very snappy. Is this where we meet Argenta? Is this where our life comes together and makes sense again? I think so.